Now we are going to focus on session 1, which will reach the objective of understanding the supply chain management in service industry. In this module on supply chain management in service sector, we have 5 learning objectives across: acquire knowledge on the supply chain management practices of service industry, understand the concept of service supply chain, and know the specific issues related to service supply chain, and we are going to comprehend the service quality model, and we will look into a business case applying service quality model, and we focus on the learning outcome of enumerating the impact of supply chain management practices on the performance of service businesses, and you can easily explain the significance of service supply chain. You can interpret and understand the challenges in service supply chain in alignment with solutions to the business firm. You can very easily design an effective circle model for business, and you can analyze the effectiveness of supply chain management in business. Now we are going to focus on session 1, which will reach the objective of understanding the supply chain management in service industry. Most researches in the concept of supply chain management pertain to the manufacturing industries in spite of its prevalence in service industry. The growth of the service sector is so enormous since 1970s that it contributes 73% to the global economic output and about 70% of the economic activity of many developed nations. Companies in the service industry are trying their best in increasing their efficiency, responsiveness and flexibility in order to emerge as competitive with their counterparts in the industry. This can be made possible only when they are confident enough about the goodness of their operation strategy, methods and technologies involved in their supply chain management. It is essential for the firms to assess and analyze the performance of the various practices involved in their supply chain management. It is highly difficult to define or classify the service sector unlike the manufacturing sector, yet it may be essentially defined as everything except manufacturing and farming. Business activities in relation to transportation, communication, finance, insurance, real estate, public administration, travel, hospitality, wholesale and retail trades may be categorized as services. Delivering value to the customer is the main mantra of service industry. The industry depends much on people's education and values and ethics rather than goods and products. The service sector is the contributor of largest employment opportunities to people of any country. Owing to globalization, the markets for products and services have expanded each and every product that has customers worldwide. This makes the supply chain management practices take center stage as the scenario has increased the demands of the customers in terms of higher quality services, lower prices, faster delivery, increased variety, etc. Supply chain management in services industry. There are many proven studies on the importance of supply chain management practices to any business as it creeps on the objective maximization of overall value generated and delivered to the end user. Further, supply chain management is essential to reap benefits for the firm such as cost minimization, effective delivery, star rated performance, etc. Any company, whether manufacturing or service, requires effective supply chain management practices as it contributes lion's share towards the firm's performance and growth. While considering the service sector, it is difficult to set up a specific distribution channel as the services are intangible and inseparable from the person performing the same. SCM practices refers to a set of activities undertaken by a company in order to facilitate effective management of its supply chain and a sustainable future for the business. The figure projected shows 2 types of objectives, short-term and long-term objectives. The supply chain management practices in service sector are information flow management. Let's see one by one. The first one is information flow management. Information flow is considered essential for integration in any strategic alliance by providing the right information to the right person at the right time. Information flow in the supply chain will serve data on various aspects of the business like demand forecasting, defining the scope of work, skill required from the provider of the service, and also feedback on the performance. The information flow management is a practice that links all the people involved in the supply chain with the data that is collected, transmitted and utilized for the processing of information required to complete all other management processes smoothly. The second one is related to customer relationship management. Customer is the king of the business, and a satisfied customer is the success of any business. CRM is a strategic approach that focuses on increasing the shareholder value for the company through extending a cordial relationship between the company, customer, and customer segments. Integration of CRM in the supply chain will facilitate and boost up the shareholder value of the firm and will increase the performance of the business. The third one is related to supplier relationship management. Modern supply chains are so designed that the suppliers have a direct impact on the success or failure of the supply chain networks. Supplier relationship management has become crucial because most of the supply chains depend on outsourcing, and SRM refers to the process in which customers and suppliers build a long-term relationship as partners. The fourth point is related to demand management. In the supply chain refers to the efforts made towards establishing a balance between customer requirements and the capabilities of the supply chain in order to increase flexibility and at the same time reduce variability and uncertainty of the customer's demand. An efficient demand management requires insight, understanding of the importance of demand forecast, and keen observation of the market forces and how they impact on the demand factors. The fifth point is related to service management. Service delivery management may be defined as the process of making promises to the customers and keeping up those promises. This involves three small steps: define a customer order, create a network for delivery, and deliver the order. An empowered service delivery system with effective support system like facilities, infrastructure, etc. may render the firm more competitive enough in the business. The sixth aspect is related to cash flow management. One of the critical challenges in the supply chain management is ensuring reliable and predictable flow of funds, with the partners in the chain having an unanimous idea for the same. The activities related to cash flow for paying suppliers, internal transfer, invoicing customers, etc. should be administered. Automation of the payment process and monitoring the flow of cash using technology will facilitate better management. The seventh point is related to capacity and skills management. As the service sector is labor intensive and deals with intangible output, it is highly essential to manage the capacity and skills of the firm. As for capacity, it is mentioned to the resources of the firm that will be utilized to satisfy the customer desires. Needs and skills refers to the acquisition and retention of qualified staff who can facilitate the process of delivering value to the customers. Well, in this session we have covered the first learning objective of supply chain management practices of service industry, and I hope you can ponder upon two questions which is put forth now for further insights. You can try to understand the business being performed in case of ineffective cash flow management. How can the business be performed in case if there is any problem in case of cash flow management, and how the supply chain management helps in the sustainable future of the service industry. Further, in the upcoming session, we will discuss on the other aspects of supply chain management in service industry. Look forward for the next session on service supply chains. Thank you.